Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays Hyperrogue. I've done a little bit of practice off camera, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident about the Princess Quest, but not a whole lot. And so we are just going to go into it kind of just ready to take the risk. And I did get a good tip from Simon Clarkston about managing the bomber birds, and that it is important to kind of do zigzag steps so that they can catch up with you. Now, I'm not sure the best way of getting them in through this door. They seem to be having a little bit of trouble finding it, but hopefully we can kind of... no, they've been pushed off screen now, which is a little bit frustrating, but let's see if we can get back to them and just fight off these guards. And already we have 14 Hyperrogue rugs, which I probably should have paid a little more attention to. But I think... Let's see, it looks like... Have we already lost a golem? That is too bad. We kind of got into a little bit of trouble because I was not paying as much attention as I should have been. So let's see if we can get our way to the doorway and then let our bomber birds in, and hopefully they will be able to deal with that vizier, and they did. So, I did see a ping for a mouse. Unfortunately, we had to kind of do some other stuff. So now that we have what's remaining of our army, let's see if we can find it again. And we have a skeleton coming up here, so I want to get into a position where I will be able to deal with it. But it looks like our golems might end up having a little bit of trouble with the skeletons, because they're going to stun them kind of not in strategically great places, and then they're just going to be stuck there. So I'm going to try and see if I can, let's see, have to hit him, let's see, and then once again have to hit him. So this is starting to fall apart a little bit. I find the skeletons very difficult to deal with, and the presence of the golems and the bomber birds is actually making things harder, not easier. And so I think, let's see... If I move there, yeah, that'll let me push a skeleton into a pit. And then I should be able to push this guy into that pit. And now we just have the one more to deal with. And I have to be very careful not to kill any of my bomber birds. But it looks like we will have a chance to get around him. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take yet another... And we're going to wait for that bomber bird, hopefully, to fly out of the way. So we now have our 15th Hyperrogue rug. Things are going to be even more dangerous. And we still have no sign of a mouse. But we've managed to escape those skeletons, which I was pretty worried about. So by setting out on this Princess Quest, I'm kind of committing to a fairly long episode, because I don't know that I will be able to break things up in the way that I did last time. We will have to see. It kind of depends on just how things work out and how I manage to deal with them. Let's see. More skeletons, even more skeletons. Very frustrating. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there are any trap doors that we can get this one to, and there's not any very close by. And I'm not sure what exactly to do. And we're still seeing no signs of mice, which is really what we are most interested in. So, okay, so these golems have these skeletons kind of on lockdown. And we can walk up to this guy and kill him. And then we can look at, okay, is there any way that we can get these skeletons is there any place that we can push them to? And I see a trapdoor kind of far away. But I'm trying to see if maybe there's a way for us to start pushing them in that direction. And it looks like we're coming up on them. Looks like we might be able to do this still, though this palace guard is going to make things yet again harder. So let's see. Those golems should be able to deal with those guys. The bomber birds are actually going to keep that skeleton on lockdown. And so I'm going to just have to deal with this one and try and get around it to someplace. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so it looks like instead of going on a princess quest, we're going to get horribly tangled up with skeletons, which is not really what I wanted to do here, but it's certainly a challenge. And so we may end up actually trying to find an orb of safety in the palace at this point. Seems like a very likely way that things could end up going. And we managed to push a guard into a pit, but we are still not really in a position where we can get rid of these skeletons easily. And I'm going to try and come back around here and see if we can push them. Let's see, we got to stun that guy, and then we can push that one over there. And then I can swap places there, push that guy back. And then we can get around to this side, push him onto that space, swap places with the golem. And now we can actually push that guy into the pit. So now we just have this other one to deal with. And we just need to, let's see, make sure to push it onto an empty space. And then, let's see, we can come around to this side of him and push him in there, and that will push him into the pit. There we go. So we have managed to get rid of still more skeletons, but we are still looking for a mouse. We have not seen one in quite some time, and we're not really equipped to keep doing this. It's really kind of turning out that this army is a little bit of a mixed blessing. And so I'm looking for, okay, how are we going to continue to do this? Now, once we find the mouse, we're going to be in a little bit of a different position because we will stop seeing skeletons. Once you get onto the princess quest, you stop seeing the skeletons. And so hopefully we will run into a mouse before too long, but I'm a little bit worried that because we saw that one mouse, that's going to be the only mouse that we see. And I'm not sure what else to do, and I've now actually made the situation much worse by trapping some of my companions. And that's another thing that we're actually going to have to worry about, is just the problem of the possibility of our golems stepping on panels. And there, that one has actually done exactly that and trapped our bomber birds over here. So let's see if we can get them back out. And I have gone and opened a door that I did not want to open. And the golem, unfortunately, has gone and opened it again, but we can just deal with this guy without too much trouble. So, we are looking for an orb of safety. We are also looking for an exit. Hell may be the best exit for us at this point. Now, we're going to have some difficulty with getting our bomber birds through this doorway. We don't have a great kind of set up for getting them through the doorway. But we're just going to... Okay, the golems blocking them in is going to be trouble. So the demon killed one of our golems, but we've got the birds through the door, And now we're going to just run away, and our bomber birds are doing just fine. They just blended in. I had a moment of fear that they had been killed, and then I noticed that they were just difficult to see over the lake of sulfur. They kind of blend in a little bit, but now that I know that, I will probably not be troubled by that further. So we could work on a Yender quest. We could gather up some Demon Daisies. I'm not really keen on that simply because the Yender quest has kind of become too easy. It has stopped being all that interesting to me. We do actually have one of the other things that I was thinking about doing today, the Red Rock Valley, available to us. Now this is someplace where we are extremely likely to lose our birds, because these rock snakes are trouble with a capital T, and we're going to be trying first of all to avoid them. Now, that rock snake over there actually has gone and killed itself on one of our bomber birds, which is very nice. We can't get up onto its back, though. And so we're going to have to be worrying about this rock snake coming up on our right. And I think, once again, we're just going to have to ignore our companions as much as possible, and probably not going to be able to hang on to them. And I'm trying to see if there's a way for us to get this rock snake trapped, and I'm not seeing one. And unfortunately, you need to stack up 2 of these rock trolls in order to barricade the rock snake. So we're just going to have to flee. And this rock snake now is going to come up, and maybe those 2 guys will actually end up blocking each other. But I'm not sure. Let's see. Very nearly actually got trapped by these rock trolls. And it looks like neither of those guys is going to get trapped. Oh, actually, yeah, he did. Okay. So let's see if we can make use of that by kiting one of these guys over here. That will get us up here, and now we can start gathering up some redstones, red gems. So now that we're up here, we are kind of into the second phase of this area, and I believe we want to try and stay up here as much as we can, because it's going to be harder for mobs to actually get to us. And it looks like we are down to just a single bomber bird at this point. So now I think what we want to do is head along this body segment and see if we can connect up with anything else. And it looks like we're going to have a... Now I believe we can jump down 2, so hopefully we will be able to escape this rock snake. And it's just a matter of, let's see, there we go. Yeah, we can jump down 2. So now we can escape over here. And that rock snake is actually going to get up. Oh, no, because it can't go on a heptagon. So we're going to be, I think, safe from it, at least for a while. And we will be able to jump back down. So I believe it's going to go up along the head there, but it may even de-aggro. And we can grab 2 more. We only need 2 more red gems. And so, let's see. That's a rock 2, so we can jump down from here. And then we could use that to climb back up. But it's risky because that rock snake is going to be able to climb up onto this ridge. And so I think I'm going to head around this side instead and see if we can set something up. Ah, no, it has gotten up there and very nearly ate us. Looks like once again our bird is going to be cut off from us, and we're not going to be able to get back to it. So now we're kind of in fleeing mode, and I would like to see if we can set something up. But it's going to require some tactical thought, a kind of tactical thought that is quite tricky for me, but kind of by accident, it has actually happened to work out for us. We are not in a position where we can really capitalize on it because of this other rock snake here, but that rock snake ended up getting killed kind of just while I wasn't paying attention, while I was thinking about other things. So I'm looking at this one, trying to see if there's anywhere that we can kind of lead it that would be useful. And I'm just trying to see if we can create the kind of choke point that we need, and I'm not seeing a great way of doing that, and so I think I'm going to head once again kind of away from it and see if we can just find a better situation someplace else. And we are really getting swarmed. Really got a lot of mobs after us. And this rock snake is not slowing down. The big danger is that as soon as we escape a rock snake going in one direction, it seems like a rock snake will come from another direction. And then we can get, the one that we were running away from to de-aggro maybe, but then we're heading straight into the arms of the one that we were running away from. And it looks like that is what is happening here, though here we've actually got one that is trapped. No, not quite, because this rock troll is moving before it. So we can loop around here and see if we can make our way around to some place where we can trap it. And I'm seeing actually a place where we should be able to stand, and it won't be able to get to us. And so there we go. So that is the rock snake trapped and killed. We can grab 2 more of those, and then oddly enough we have a Yeti. So there must be an icy land around here somewhere. Though at this point we're pretty... there it is actually. So I was going to say we're pretty unlikely to find it, but there it is right there. We have managed to escape with 10 red gems. That is a pretty serious accomplishment, and I am ready to call that a day. So we are now actually just going to be looking for an opportunity to get an orb of safety. Either just one, sitting around in the icy land, though, let's see, phoenix feathers. We do not have 25 phoenix feathers, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to find our way back to a crossroads. And so that actually kind of lays to rest some of my confusion earlier in the episode, when I was thinking that maybe we could find an orb of safety in the palace, but that was not going to happen because I did not get 25 phoenix feathers, which is something that I do sometimes, but had decided not to do in this case. It's one of those things that is mildly useful, but not massively useful. And here actually we have one that we might not be able to get to because of that dog. And we can kind of loop around here, see if we can get to it, though. And we did. Alright, so that is where we're going to leave it. In the next episode, we are going to be on the lookout for a crossroads. Going to try and make our way back to a palace. And from there, we're going to hopefully have a more successful princess quest this time. Without the army, I think it may actually be easier. So, we tried out something new, tried out a new strategy. It didn't work out. That's something that is just going to happen, but I'm really glad that we did attempt it. I really enjoyed giving it a shot, thinking it up, and seeing it go horribly awry, because that's one of the sources of fun in roguelikes, is just seeing all of the new and different ways that things can go wrong. And so we've had a very full, very eventful episode, And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.